Good morning to you. I'm sitting here in the far southwest of Scotland this morning, and the skies are partly sunny, partly cloudy today. And I'm just taking a break. I'm on my way back from Carlisle across the Stranraer, where I've got my final deliveries to make today. But I'm just going to talk a wee bit about the US pattern, and certainly over the past 24 hours we've seen improvement, of course, across the northeastern part of the United States. We've seen more sunshine and a fairly decent southwest flow, which allowed temperatures to bump back up into the upper 80s for DC, through Baltimore and Philadelphia, and mid-80s for the New York City area. High pressure, of course, returned on the heels of the record-breaking flooding and rainfall that was seen over the course of the weekend. But unfortunately, that high is going to slide off to the east, and we're going to see another frontal system push through over the course of later today, tomorrow, and through the weekend. So that's going to raise the thunderstorm threat anywhere from Richmond, Virginia, up through DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, and basically up the entire northeastern part of the United States. We're going to be seeing a chance of showers and thunderstorms. The temperatures aren't going to be too disappointing. We're going to be seeing temperatures remain in the 80s. So between that and a wee bit of juicy air, it could be a lot worse, folks, for certainly for middle August. Of course, on Sunday there we didn't see temperatures crack 70 degrees in New York City. But certainly with this next chance of rainfall, we're certainly going to see warmer conditions across the northeast. As for the southern plains, it's the same old story. The heat continues. We see the high continue to dominate. Of course, worsening the drought situation across Texas and Oklahoma. I believe from the latest reports, Texas has seen a loss of $5.2 billion from the drought situation. And unfortunately, folks, because of the dry soils and the fact that we've got a semi-permanent high pressure in control anyway, the drought is intensifying that ridge aloft, and what we're seeing is continued 100s. Now, today I believe would be the 19th straight day above 100 in Houston. It looks quite comfortably it's going to surpass that, and it looks as if the all-time record for most days in a year above 100, which is 32 degrees, looks certain to be broken in the next few days. That ridge doesn't appear to want to break down, folks. So highs above 100 Oklahoma City, into that 105 range in Dallas, and across much of central Texas, well into the 100s. Across the southwest as well, we see the ridge fairly strong. We've seen a high, I believe, of around 114 yesterday at Bullhead City in Arizona, and widespread 100s across the desert southwest. But certainly that is not unusual for this time of year. You can expect that kind of heat in the desert southwest. In fact, folks, we've seen a relatively cool summer, I would say, across the desert southwest, and basically the reason for that has been the high has been anchored permanently all summer across Texas and Oklahoma. So it really hasn't been just as bad as it could have been in places like Phoenix, Las Vegas, across into Palm Springs. Temperatures there have been, in the 100s, but the average temperature in many of these locations is about 108, and it certainly could be worse. We, of course, did see a high of 118 way back in the earlier part of the summer in Phoenix, but apart from that, it really hasn't been too bad at all. As for the Pacific Northwest, there was some speculation as to whether the temperature would manage to crack that 90-degree mark in places like Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening, and this is only the second time since in 137 years that Portland hasn't managed to crack 90 degrees. So it's amazing how cool of a summer the entire west coast has been. LA hasn't even hit 90 degrees since May of earlier this summer. So it's been a cool summer across the Pacific Northwest and up and down the west coast. But we see continued storminess across the northern plains as well. everything's, all that traffic of weather, the west to east flow has all been pushed to the north, folks, because of the ridge, that dominant high pressure across the southern plains, and it doesn't seem as if there's going to be any change in the pattern, certainly into next week. We'll continue to see 100s for Dallas and Houston, and certainly, folks, I admire your strength to deal with this heat. I was in Houston back in 1998, and that heat is horrendous. So I certainly don't envy the folks in Houston and Dallas this summer at all. So sitting here from just outside Newton Stewart here in Dumfries and Galloway, Scotland. Hope you have a great day, folks. Bye for now.